Beast mode, yeah. Beast mode, beast mode, yeah. Beast mode.
I was deadlifting.
Okay.
And yeah. And and I stopped deadlifting and squatting for probably like 3 or 4 months.
Okay, did you go to a doctor?
Yeah, I went to the doctor, got x-rays, got everything, and went to chiropractor. Yeah, he's like basically kind of like, it's not gonna get worse. Like I mean, it can't. I mean, the worst that can happen is, you know, it's just nothing doesn't heal and it hurts all the time. But like, how do I like work around, you know, like squatting after a long time for like 8 weeks or something straight? It like starts to hurt. So do I just need to like cut it off, like get off?
This is what I'm going to tell you, that a lot of the professional bodybuilders that I've trained with, like, I don't want to say names because I don't know if people want you to know this or not, but I know a lot of top level bodybuilders now winning competitions that don't deadlift. Chris, you know as well, and that do not squat. Now there are, well, almost every one of them squat, but deadlifting is like a pride thing for me. You know, getting older, I want to still continue to train like I did 20, 25, 30 years ago. But it is non-essential, honestly. Chris didn't deadlift until he came to me and I made him deadlift. And now he likes it, but he doesn't have to do it. You know what I mean? So make sure that you understand that a lot of the secondary lifts, like the pull downs and the rows and, you know, everything else that you do for your back will help you build your back. Callie Muscle hasn't deadlifted in his entire life. And that dude has a freaky back. You know, Dorian Yates didn't like to squat, look at the squats. You know, Ryan Coleman, he does all of it, and now look at him laying down in a bed getting operations all the time. I'm not saying anything bad, but Ronnie is one bad mamma jamma that other people have like physiques that don't deadlift or squat. So I'm just saying, don't get wrapped up with having to deadlift because I say that it's essential, because I do say that all the time, and you will get better results with deadlifting with overall mass. Do you YouTubers agree? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So make sure that you attack every other lift with intensity and safety and stretch out and do your physical therapy and listen to your doctor, because they are degreed in what they're telling you not to do. Okay, none of us know as much as half those guys. That's my answer.
Next question, Andrew.
Big J.
Sir.
Tendonitis from pulling movements, like rows, and sometimes shoulder presses.
Have you been to the doctor?
No, it just happened this week.
Okay, well then give it a little break. Rest, ice, circulate, elevate. RICE is the acronym. Yeah. So give it a break first. Ice it if it hurts immediately. You know, every time you do a lift, circulate it, go back to heat, back and forth, elevate above your heart. You know, it's not
anything with grip.
Yeah. Oh, well, then you could have some kind of a nerve problem. You know, what is it, the ulnar nerve?
Sir, what do you mean by your grip?
Like if I hold anything up and I squeeze, it hurts in my elbow.
Like
the camera.
Hurts. Yeah. It comes with growth, but also, you know, when I was younger and benching 500 for reps and, you know, doing shoulder presses with 300 or 400 pounds overhead free bar, my elbows were always killing me. And look, that's actually not the joint. That's a bursa sac that's swollen forever, as well as my elbow being broken. You guys know the story. I would put pressure while I was lifting, and a lot of that was eliminated. When Omar and I lifted 315 yesterday, and I was dying, I put the reps on. I felt like it's 135 pounds again. So put the little sleeves on. Inzer has the best, but you can get a $12, $15 pair of Nike wraps that just slide up on you and allow you to move but give you pressure. That will definitely help. Try a wrap too.
I'll just say something quickly, if I could interject about that. Yeah, that happens a lot when it comes to, you know, elbow pain or whatever the case might be, but the underlying problem, the elbow sleeve is great for temporary to alleviate the pain, but you gotta find out the root of it, where it usually is something to do with mobility. Incorrect movement patterns over time, done repeatedly.
I'm pretty sure I was flaring my elbow.
Flaring your elbows out. Well, the big one when you said pulling movements, internal shoulder rotation of the shoulder, where you can't properly rotate like so. So to compensate, the elbow has to do the movement of the shoulder itself. It's probably the most common. My advice to you, besides doing just normal mobility for your shoulder, is to always take a look at the alignment of your elbow relative to your actual shoulder, and that your wrist is not complete in the movement, where it should be coming straight down. You have proper shoulder mobility, where instead the wrist, to compensate, like on the lat pull down, will tend to go like this to cave in, right? So you're caving in, internal rotation. You gotta make sure that if you're tight in a certain area, you take care of that. A lot of times, I'd say for over 90% of people that have simple common problems, doesn't seem like it's aggravated too much, a little bit of mobility, taking care of proper form, and you'll be all right. Good. On top of that.
Yeah. Next guy.
Does that work with that, right?
I saw somebody's hand up here. Yeah, you guys have 14 questions, hold on. Somebody near.
Big play, Ray. What's the best way to handle muscle imbalances without having to go to a chiropractor and get a massage?
I would say basically like he did, like Omar said, just to work out, be conscious of those imbalances. Yeah. Like right now, I got my right leg is a little larger than my left. So when I'm on the leg press, you know, I might do a set of one-legged leg press, you know, extra set on his own, just to strengthen up that one. I'll drop the weight down on a lot of sets just to make sure I get a chance to like this one in. So it's just about getting more work, because the other one got big because it's doing more work, so you want to do more work on the side of his leg.
Flat on that thing?
Yeah.
Flat on there?
I didn't bring it.
Okay. Which one's more beneficial for strength and overall gains on the bench press? Full extend or just like the half?
Is that a stab at me?
Controversial question.
A very controversial question. Time under tension, obviously everybody will agree that is definitely one of the most manifesting muscle building movements that you can, instead of pausing, you know, squeezing or whatnot. But as far as like, ask the question one more time, the most benefits in strength?
Yeah, like overall development. Full extend.
Overall development?
Yeah.
I did studies. Mark Wobarner's actually got some PhD references on his channel about full range of motion versus muscle stretch and flexion. I do believe that going all the way down that's the most beneficial. But depending on your flexion, like again, that's as far as that elbow will ever go until they replace it with a fake elbow. So I have, in the last 20 years, competed in bodybuilding, powerlifted successfully with great muscle tone with that range of motion. So I think if you figure out and know the kinetics and the science of what your flexion is, instead of just moving the weight for movement versus connecting with the muscle-mind connection, you will definitely benefit in size and strength with the shorter range of motion. Now, locking your elbows out is very harmful on your elbows. Locking them out on leg extensions is tough on your knees. Squatting, standing up fully. These guys will agree with me that that full lockout's kind of tough on you. Okay, but it is required on lots of lifting, powerlifting, you know, school competitions, etc. But I'm, you know, this is the 30th year that I've done this, and about 22 years with no full extension on any of my joints or tendons. So you can get stronger with a lack of range of motion, but you need to know where your power range is. Okay, you can't do this. There's somebody, what's his name on YouTube? The Bra or whatever his name is, and he does like quarter reps, but he's huge. But you know, I don't know what kind of foods or supplements he's eating or taking. But I can tell you right now, over a decade without the extra supplementations, I'm still doing well. So I mean, definitely want to get a more range of motion than quarter reps. Huh?
That's it. I just made a joke about it.
Yeah. Are you joking?
Not about you.
It always helps when Jason's standing over you screaming one more too.
Yeah. One more. You gotta get one more. Let's go, next question.
I got it. I guess for all the certified personal trainers, how did y'all become about being a trainer? Like what type of school or what place did y'all go to?
Who wants to go first?
Hold on.
It's a joke, man.
I mean, he took the word. It's a joke.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
I mean, seriously, like the people that was in my class, you know, the conversation.
Online class or?
I actually went to a course over the weekend.
Workshop?
A little workshop. It was 2 days.
For real.
You know what I mean? And I'm scared. I mean, I feel sorry for some people that are, you know, come to these people.
I was corresponding with you when you were in that class.
Yeah,
What's going on here?
that's what my boy Daryl. He was in the class with me, man. We were sitting there shaking the head. Big D.
Two guys down here, personal trainer
great name.
certified, no, yes?
Yeah, the personal training course is not to teach you how to be a personal trainer. It's to get you your paperwork to become a personal trainer. So
That's
if you're trying to become a personal trainer at a gym, you need to find out what cert they take at that gym. If they take a normal online course for $85, $100, get that cert, because your information is going to come from the internet, watching YouTube channels, reading research, and actually working out and working out with other people. So I think NASM right now, ISSA, they have a discount right now. I just called for another guy. Right now, I think their cert is like $800. They're allowing you to put down $100 and pay $100 a month. and you can get your cert before you're done paying it and still be able to finish paying it and be a certified personal trainer. So just look into whatever gym you want to train for first and see what they accept.
And I've been with ACSM for almost 20 years, as well as a master fitness trainer in the military with some kinesiology and physiology classes. This is my 20th year in the gym, and I have clients all the way from 6-year-old kids to the actual Miss Olympia. So I've got some time under my belt, but there's a lot of things that I don't know still, and I will continue to try to learn. So, I mean, certifications are great. You gotta have them for a job, just like you need to have a college education to get a job, but time under the gym, you know, in a gym with training people, training other people, training along with people, and doing it, I mean, that's where you're gonna learn your most.
I learned way more actually doing it than I did in the book.
Absolutely, application. Book is only a book of instructions. It's like a lieutenant in the military. Anybody in the military? I don't even want to talk bad about lieutenants, but it takes a sergeant to teach a lieutenant in the military, and the lieutenant knows all the book work, but when the lieutenant gets out in the field, you know, it takes a sergeant that has been there for a long time to get more knowledge into the guy that knows all about the book. You know, the books are great, but field experience is the best.
They don't block bullets.
That's right, they don't block bullets. ISSA certification, he's been training for a long time as well.
Guys, I mean, the certifications are great. It's good to have. When you go to a gym, you'll see a lot of trainers showing improper form, showing, you know, just all the wrong things, and you sit back and you're like, God, how did they do that? Well, they just explain that. It's book work.
So easy.
It's not hard to get. Pay attention to what these guys do. I mean, they're doing well for themselves for a reason. They look the way they look for a reason. Practice your form. Me, deadlifting, I have the worst form ever, but it's comfortable to me.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, do your thing. Feel comfortable in yourself. Get up there and do what these guys are doing. I'm trying to catch up with everybody over here. He's helping.
My brother in the white shirt.
ACSM is where I'm going to get my certificate through, and I just got the books about 2 weeks ago. I mean, do y'all have any guide on the easiest way to study for that? Because like y'all said, it sounds like just get the certificate as easy and best as possible.
Well, you want to learn it too. Yeah. I mean, there's valuable information in there.
I mean, it'll teach you something like about body mechanics and things like that.
Yeah.
You'll get some good knowledge, but the knowledge that counts and makes you an effective personal trainer is really going to come from the hands-on.
Yeah.
Is that a question? My brother, the 10 seconds.
We can see your nipple.
Alright, so my shoulder's dislocated.
Who's your question for? Everybody, okay.
So my shoulder's dislocated. It only gives me like a little bit of range. Like my shoulder's basically right here.
Yeah.
And so I can't really like do a full. Is it better to do like high reps or heavy weight?
To do what?
Like to do shoulder, like to build up the traps and stuff.
So, sorry, how's that dislocated shoulder factor into your goal? Are you just letting us know they have a dislocated shoulder, or does it inhibit you?
I can't like do.
Have you been to the doctor?
I don't have full range of motion.
Did you see a doctor or qualified therapist about this?
Right.
Okay, and what did they say?
They told me that basically my spine is curved.
Okay.
But it doesn't.
Your spine is curved, but that's your shoulder. How's that related?
Because my shoulder, if you see my shoulder, this shoulder is like up here, and this shoulder is normal.
Yeah.
So like I can't use full range.
So you're asking, is it better to do high reps or worry about weight? Yeah. Is that what you're saying?
If the heavy weight dislocates your shoulder, I would stop the heavy weight.
No,
I mean, that's simple, right?
You gotta worry about your body.
What makes it dislocate? Is it dislocated continually? Is it dislocated right now?
No, it's just out of place.
What dislocates it? Heavy weight?
When I
playing football.
Yeah, playing football.
They pop out, you gotta pop back in.
Yeah. So it dislocates easily.
Comes out, right?
There's a lot of therapy out there, I'm sure that you understand as well as yourself, that they have injections, right, that they can inject into your tendons and whatnot, which is, I mean, it takes a long course and it's very painful, but sometimes you got to look at, okay, am I going to continue to dislocate my shoulder for the rest of my life, or am I going to slow down in what I'm doing and move on towards better things that don't dislocate my shoulder? Or there is also range of motion, just like Omar was talking about, therapy that will help build up the tendons that are loose and weak around that joint that allows itself to separate. Correct?
Yeah, whatever is taking, there's certain muscles now that are taking over for, you can't function properly, so there's certain muscles that are weak, tight, inhibited. You gotta find out what's reducing that range of motion and try and restore that first. If you get back your mobility, a lot of those problems will take care of itself. Like your question about heavy weight or, you know, doing a lot of volume, the first order of business is to try and get the shoulder as healthy as possible, whatever that might be, because right now you're limited, and I'm positive you can increase whatever that range of motion is. Once you get past that, then you can find the workarounds that are right for you. Yeah, you'll have to, you probably won't do a strict overhead press or anything like that, but the exact exercises that don't aggravate the shoulder and actually help it out. Like for you, probably judging by how it looks, stuff like, it's called a Cuban press or like a face pull, or something where you're focusing on external rotation, sounds, I haven't seen your shoulder, sounds like it might be a good idea. But someone that's knowledgeable about this should be able easily to identify, see like, okay, does this hurt, give you a full program about that. And they're out there, and they're not expensive. And it's your body.
Thank you.
Chris Jones. Chris Jones. Chris Jones. Vince G. Vince G. Chris Jones. Vince G. We OG.